Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm with Mario Rodriguez, and we're going to talk about the project and also him getting shot. Not at the project.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that.
Just to be really fucking clear here. Anyways, so Mario, it's a weird turn of events here.
Mm-hmm.
I met you at Class 17, right?
Yep.
Immediately saw you and I was like, that guy's a piece of shit, never gonna make it.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
Actually, I don't really remember in the lineup. I always look at ears.
Are mine lined up nice?
No. I look
straight?
because you know how shit goes sideways. I'm like, who has cauliflower ear? Like, who's gonna be the one that I might have to grapple with, or it's gonna throw some problems. Anyways, but yeah, I met you at Class 17. And then fast forward, how long ago was that?
It's like a month ago now.
And you're working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're on the team.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team, dude.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Weird how that works out, right?
It is.
So long story short, you come back from the project. Tell us what happened.
As soon as I got back from the project, well, not as soon as, it was about 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks after, I got called into the office at work, and they said, hey, we can no longer pay your salary anymore.
You ain't going to work here no more.
That's basically what they said. And they said, bye.
That was it.
That was it. So I get there, I get in the office, and they say we can no longer afford to pay your salary, and we'd still love to work with you as a contractor. So it's kind of confusing at some point. So he said, you can finish out the day. So I go, and I'm doing my work still, making sure everything's set up for them. And then he's like, well, if you want to go, you can just go. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I guess I'll just go home. So I go home, I start working on everything. Start working on my website. And
now, right around this time, I actually messaged you and be like, hey, dude, because we obviously met at the graduation dinner and talked more. And and I found out, we'll talk about the project, but we'll find out what you did while you were at the project, which was funny. Mm-hmm. Mario had a very specific name in the project while he was going through as a candidate.
Yep.
But I sent you a text message and I was like, hey, bro, send me a link to your work. Mm-hmm. And you sent me a website.
I did. And I didn't hear anything back from you at the time. So I was like, oh, maybe my shit sucks.
No. It was just I wanted it in the can in case I needed an extra shooter for Squire or for something like that. But you had just made that
that day. I swear it had to have been that day. Yeah,
that's so funny. Because I didn't know this, but you were scrambling essentially to find a job.
Yeah.
Or figure out freelance shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so how long did that go on?
So I want to say it was 2 weeks. So I'm scrambling. I had somebody that kind of was dumping me some work.
Yeah.
And after the 2 weeks happened, I think it was the Monday, right? It was Monday?
Yeah, it was Monday.
So it was 2 weeks ago or whatever, or a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And you posted
video/editor.
Video,
I need another one.
Editor needed, whatever.
Yeah.
And apparently your guy just quit on a Sunday.
So and it goes kind of he didn't align with the core values. Mm-hmm. So it kind of sucks. And we went real slow, tried to hire 3 months because we had, everybody that follows the channel knows Mark. Mark was with us for over 2 years. Now he's saving the world in Costa Rica with the Peace Corps. I hope you're having a good time, Mark.
That's awesome.
He looks like he's having a fucking blast is what it looks like.
Sure.
Yeah. And then, so we went slow 3 months, finally found a guy, didn't meet the core values, but showed he showed interest of, and this is kind of on me, he showed interest of hey, I want to get more fit. Mm-hmm. I want to aspire, I want to level up and raise my life to the bar of these core values for the company. I can respect that, right?
He had that interest in bettering himself.
And he had the qualifications, and then just I guess we run. I mean, you can see we run hot around here.
Yeah, I did not have time to cool off when I got here. It was hit the ground running, and you better learn how to swim or you're gonna sink, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of shit going on.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and people don't realize how busy I am, mm-hmm. and so it's interesting to see once you see behind the curtain, you're like, holy fuck, we're at warp speed 24/7.
Yeah, it's almost like everything's on fire at all times. I swear.
I like it though.
No, yeah, but it's good. It gives you that kick to get shit going.
Yeah, and there's no sitting back around here. Mm-hmm. And anyways, so he on a Sunday texted and said, "Yeah, I can't do this," and I was pissed, bro. So I'm like, bro, I gave you a shot, anyways, whatever.
Right.
It's my own fault. But literally put that on there, and you messaged me, like you replied immediately. And actually Flowers messaged me and said, hit up. There's a couple people that hit me up. Joe, Flowers. And I'm actually employing 2 honor grads from the project. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Joe Luplow from is one of the Agoge coaches of class 16, and you're here from 17. That's funny.
That's awesome.
And Joe will be here for Squire program. So if you haven't met him, you will.
Yeah, I see him posting, reposting your stuff. He's
Well,
always in the Discord. He's on people.
Dude, he's like on people, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, we're just trying to help him out too. Just trying to like let him figure things out. But
no, but Joe's pretty heavy-handed on the keyboard.
Yeah.
He's calling people out. Anyways, so you show up Tuesday night and then pretty much haven't left since then, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild. So it's wild how the universe works out when you're operating. And pay attention to this, guys. Like when you're operating in the right circles, and you're raising your bar, what happens? And then the people you're like,
yeah. I mean, and it goes to show, like, I was a lone wolf. I'm sure like everyone at some point in their life is a lone wolf. Like I was a cop for 4 years. Mm-hmm. I got to that point where I was like, you know what? Society's fucked. Society is shit. I don't want
especially in the last few years, right?
Yeah, I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to, be out there. Like it would get to the point where I'd be like at the grocery store and I would constantly be checking my 6 and crazy stuff, or people walking too close behind me, and I'd be getting irritated. Mm-hmm. But then it just goes into other things, and you start resorting to porn or whatever, because you're just being a lone wolf by yourself. You're not talking to other dudes. You're not talking, trying to better yourself in any way. And I got pretty comfortable. So
I saw your picture. It looked like you got real comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a whole reason why we joined Battle Ready, which is now Agoge.
Yeah, right.
And went to the project because I was way too comfortable. But joining the group of men, like-minded men, is gonna just level you up, and it's
cutting out all the stagnant relationships in your life that aren't doing anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the universe is lining all that stuff up for you. Like you said, it's crazy how it all happened. And usually, like what they say is when you get back from the project and you're networking, you're connecting with those people, stuff like that's gonna happen. You're gonna lose your job, your wife's gonna leave you, or you might leave your wife, like depending on how the situation is. But things work out. Yeah, things are gonna work out. And now I'm connected with you, and you're trying to level me up in different. It's
pretty
ways
rad,
too.
right?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and what's weird about this is, and you can call it God, universe, whatever your believer is, you are on the way here. And the thing is like the guy that left, shouldn't have been here anyway, because like things are already like way better. Like we just, it's a different mindset, right? I'm operating now with somebody, instead of having to pull them up, like I'm really just like, I just give you things and like it's way better than it was. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But on the way here, Christian calls you.
Yep.
To like, and I didn't even know this. This was not something I was aware of. I think you asked me when we met at the Airbnb. You were like, Christian? I'm like, yeah, she works for me. Like she called you while you were driving here. Yeah. To see if you could help Esquire.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, I'm actually on my way to come up there.
To see
she's
Nick
like,
now.
Oh, okay. Like,
well, that works out.
Yeah, right. She's like, okay, you can just talk to Nick then. So I was like, sweet.
All right. So before we get into the project, let's hit this story if you're good with it, which I asked you, so you're good with it.
Yeah.
You were a law enforcement officer. You got into a officer involved shooting and was shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And which kind of like I don't want to like throw the agency under the bus unless you do, because it was pretty fucked up. But can you walk us through that story?
It was about 10:30 at night. It was like a traffic stop. We just got done with like a few traffic stops, and I'm working special operations, so I'm not like working the beat. Like we'd answer calls if like people were busy, but
we've had another special operation. It's one of our top episodes. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. It's basically a day in the life in special operations, and he basically goes through his whole thing and like the problems with law enforcement, which actually ties into this. So you'll actually like that episode. I think it's one of the top 5 episodes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But so we make that traffic stop. It's like in an alley. It's like kind of between an apartment and like a fence to another backyard. So it's like around the corner of a street. And we roll up. The guy pulls into the parking lot. We go to investigate. My partner's talking to him on the driver's side. I'm on the passenger side. And, the typical thing, like, why are you stopping me? All this other bullshit, whatever. So my partner asked him, hey, you got your driver's license on you? He goes, no, I don't have a license. So right there, you're driving
Yeah.
you know, illegally. So, of course, we're going to initiate an actual investigation on you. So, my partner goes to open the door, and he flips the car in reverse and basically hits my partner, and he, like, basically slams him up against our scout car, like, dislocating, like, both of his knees.
Shit,
it's wild,
dude.
yeah. And so, like, at that time, I'm, like, standing in front because I'm running. I'm standing in front of the car, but the dude gets out and starts running. So, at the time, I start to give chase, and I basically see him reaching, so I'm, like, already kind of getting ready. But by the time he, like, you know, like, we're reacting to that, obviously. We're not, like, whatever, but he, like, flicks around. He just turns around the corner real quick and just, like,
lobs one.
Just lobs one and just gets lucky and hits me right below the vest. So if I was just standing there normal, it would have hit my vest. But since I was punched out, like, ready to go, it hit me right in the stomach on my left side. Didn't hit any organs, anything crazy. It actually went in and went around everything, which is wild. Because if I would have took one step to a different way, it would have hit me directly in the stomach. I probably would have died. I probably would have bled out, honestly. Because you think, like, if you're internally bleeding
of course.
like in the stomach area, like, you're pretty much fucked unless you get to the hospital as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So the bullet hits me. It knocks me on my ass. And so now I'm engaging between my legs. I'm kind of in that back upside down prone position.
Yeah.
So engaging him as he's hopping a wall. He gets over the wall, starts running. I actually got up, started running. I knew I was hit. I was like, fuck.
You knew you were hit?
Oh, yeah. I knew I was hit. So
did you feel it, or was it just the impact, knocking you down?
Yeah, it was just the impact of knocking me down. I knew it was somewhere. So, like, as I was getting up, I kind of checked, and I knew it wasn't my leg. So I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And I wasn't actively bleeding. I knew, like, the blood on my
Your
pants.
adrenaline's like a million miles an hour.
Dude.
Yeah.
So, like, there was, like, so many things going on.
Yeah.
The girlfriend screaming because, like, bullets were flying.
Oh,
like,
he had people in the car.
There was his girlfriend or his whatever in the car.
Whatever, yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, you're talking about, like, 20, 30 rounds back and forth between each other.
What?
In, like, probably, like, 10 seconds. So, like, my partner that's on the ground that dislocated his knee shooting. So we ran three guys. So we would have somebody in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
So my other partner is behind a dumpster just laying fire down, and I'm shooting between my legs. So you're talking just, like, back and forth craziness.
Yeah.
So that's all within, like, a 10-second span. I get up, I run to the wall. We're checking, and I let him know. I'm like, hey, man, I'm hit. And he's like, where you hit? I'm like, my stomach. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I think. Like,
it'll totally buff out. Don't worry about this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But, you know, so my partner that dislocated his knees got up and, like, basically, like, called me over and said, like, let's go. Like, we'll find him. Like, let's get you to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hop in the back seat. We're just, like, rolling. I'm just, like, sitting in the back seat. I'm just thinking, like, fuck. Like, I got a hole in me.
I got fucking shot.
Yeah, but, like, and the thing is, too, is I wasn't, like I said, actively bleeding. So I knew I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm not, like, actively bleeding, and I don't feel any pain in my stomach. Like, because that was, like, my
organ-wise.
Yeah, organ-wise. I knew there would be an issue if that was the case. But so we get to the hospital.
Did it go out?
No, it stopped. So it actually stopped.
Shit.
It stopped, like, but the thing is, too, dude, that thing mushroomed, like, it was crazy. I actually have a picture of it.
Can you throw it up on the?
Yeah, I'll throw it up.
Okay,
there. I'll throw it up there for you guys. But it stopped, like, right at the end, like, back here.
Fuck.
And
which causes a lot more problems.
Yeah, it was obviously the swelling and all that stuff, but fortunately, like I said, it wasn't, like, anything serious. We had to wait a couple months to take it out, but anyway, we were going to the hospital, and, you know, they're calling it in, whatever, and I actually get to the hospital, and I just walk out of the scout car. They're pulling the gurney out, and I'm just, while you're walking to the hospital, they're like, who's hit? And I'm like, me. They're like, can you fucking lay down? They're, like, trying to get me to lay on the gurney, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. So, like, I lay on the gurney, and I, like...
Did you still have all your gear on?
Yeah, I still had all my gear on. So, like, they're taking my gear off and stuff, and, you know, they're trying to cut my, like, $200 tactical pants off, and they did. So I was kind of pissed about that. My partner's in the room.
You're like, bro, easy.
Yeah, I was like, easy here. But, yeah, he ended up getting caught. He had, like, I think he had, like, 7 or 8 hits on him. Very, very close to, like, critical areas. Like, part of his neck was blown out, like, close to the spine. Like, this dude was a straight up fucking cockroach, man.
What? He didn't die?
No. So they found him in the basement, and when they found him in the basement, he was like, it was a black guy.
Yeah.
He was like pale, like he was getting ready to go, and they found him. But I'm not gonna say it on the podcast. But I would have. Anyway,
I'll say it. I'd have been like, let me do I can do a sensitive site exploitation of this house real quick.
Hey, he's saying it. That's what I was thinking, but he said it. Yeah, I would have been like kind of looking around.
let me make sure this place is real secure before I call an ambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
He fucking made it.
He fucking made it. And then,
so where's he at now?
Yeah.
Like he's in jail.
No, he's fucking not in jail.
What?
So he
shot a cop. And he's not in jail.
So mind you, his bail was super low. I think I want to say, I'm not completely sure. I want to say his bail was.
Was this in Michigan?
This is in Michigan. So
fuck.
Yeah, I want to say his
Michigan. Get your shit together.
Yeah, there's no going back from that. It's already fucked.
Anyways, dude, I'm fucking sorry, man.
Dude,
that's horrible.
Yeah, it's the worst part of it is. You get into law enforcement because you're like, I want to help people.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, like, there's a point where you realize there's only so many people you can help.
Yeah, if you didn't get shot, you would have hit the 10 to 12 year mark, 8 to 12 year mark, and you'd have been like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah,
like all the other guys.
Yeah, I mean,
same in the military.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you just get burnt of the politics, and yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was. So like like the prosecutors and the judges, like a lot of them were anti-police where I worked.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
And what year was this?
2019.
So this is even before all that.
Yeah. So this was even before like the riots and all that stuff. And
so let's skip forward for time's sake.
Sure.
What was the outcome?
He ended up.
You.
Yeah.
And I guess and him.
Well, yeah, for him he ended up not guilty. Even though he's on body cam, and you can see, like, literally, you can see the flame.
I don't understand
from his gun.
Mario, I don't understand.
Yeah,
help me. I don't.
There's no understanding it. There's no understanding it. Like you literally like you put your life on the line. You chase bad guys, and you just like.
I feel like if that would have happened in Florida, like the dude is done.
Yeah.
Like done.
Oh yeah. But anyway, yeah. It's so there's that.
Okay, so he's clear. He's clear.
He's cleared hot. Yeah,
back on the street.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now he's got cred because he shot a cop and he's been shot like 8 times, and he's like, so now he's even more of a G, right? And then what happened to you?
So I ended up quitting or resigning.
Why?
Because it got to the point where the department would literally like ask me, "Oh, when are you coming back?" I'm like, "Well, I just got shot like 6 months ago. Like, can I just like heal?"
Yeah.
Not just my body, but like mentally as well. Like obviously like it's a huge fucking toll. So like it'd get to the point where they would be like, "Oh, well," almost like you have to take medication. You have to take anxiety medication if you want to stay off. Like knowing people and like knowing people that literally had their knees, like their meniscus torn, that'd be off for like 3 years. And I couldn't get I got a year off, barely a year.
Yeah.
So I get back and I do something different, and it just gets to the point where it's just all politics. Yeah. It's all politics, and
they were kind of. You said they were kind of like railroading you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So
like you were the one that did something wrong.
Right. Exactly. So I tried to leave to go to a different department during that whole time, and that the department, the city department, paid better. It was safer, obviously, and. I get to the point where they schedule an FTO for me. They have one for me. They're ready to go. They're talking about me at roll call. They're saying, "Hey, this guy from Detroit, like he's coming over." And right before it happens, Detroit like all of a sudden pulls out like and I said Detroit, so you guys know where it was at. They say, "Oh, you were permanently denied." I'm like, permanently denied?
Damn.
So what that does now is that, like you said, railroads.
You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in Detroit forever.
Yeah, you're DNQ'd anywhere else.
And literally the lieutenant, I remember the lieutenant looking me in the face. And this was at the time, in just my eyes, because, of course, when you go into the fucking admin building, you had to put your mask on, right?
Yeah.
So he looks me in the face and he goes, "Well, you're here now, so let's just be happy about that." I I didn't know what to say. Like that just threw me fucking way off. I'm like, so you just don't want people to get better. You don't want people to go. You don't want people to grow in any way. You want them just to fucking be here with you and be miserable. Like, dude, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I was like, I'm done after that.
You told him?
Oh no, I went home and I told my fiance, who's now my wife. I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm done.
What'd she say?
She's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
And up until that point, you did nothing like other videographer wise or nothing.
Nothing. Just started learning it.
Just tell you, man.
But,
you're not. No one is trapped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're not fucking trapped, dude. Like
it's just something you tell yourself.
It's just it's a limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so getting into the project, that all happens, and you kind of fall apart. Not kind of. You fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so what year? What year are we at?
Really? It's 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
Okay. And
you're talking about right now.
No. Like when did you start kind of falling apart?
Oh, so I mean, honestly, at the time, like, just think of it, like working the hours we worked, I was already falling apart there.
Okay.
So, but then when I left, obviously, like you're like, I don't have my badge anymore, I don't have my gun anymore. I'm like, where's?
Yeah, we talked about that at the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole identity thing.
Yeah, it's like you
that hits you.
Like, yeah, that's Mario the cop, and like now you're not a cop anymore. So
no,
like,
you're just Mario,
like,
just plain old Mario,
Mario
with a hole in your stomach.
Exactly. Now I just have a fucking bullet.
Mario with the I'm just Mario with the trauma now.
Yeah, exactly. So just leave me alone. But yeah, I mean, I was already falling apart then. So like, you know,
did it affect your marriage?
I want to say it didn't, because I felt like, I felt like I was pretty good at like
compartmentalizing things.
Yeah, kind of just figuring it out.
But like looking at it now,
yeah,
do you feel like it did or did not?
Oh, our relationship is definitely better now, for sure.
Because of the way you live.
Yeah.
Now.
Like, because like now she's always telling me how proud she is of me.
That means a lot, dude.
It does.
When your woman says that they're proud of you, like, ladies, for the three of you.
The five.
The five. Oh, is it five?
It is a five.
The 5 women. Listen to that. If you tell your man you're proud of him, it goes a long way.
It definitely goes a long way. So
yeah.
I've heard that a lot more lately than probably ever.
So anyways, shit kind of goes sideways, and then you find how did you find what was the inroad to that? So
it's kind of a long story, so I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But I think it was probably like 2020. So around like a year after that, I was on YouTube, whatever, and I saw an ad for YouTube, for the project,
the one that's like, "Men, welcome to the project."
Yeah, exactly. That one of Pedro's. The project is a 75-hour, that one kind of thing. Yeah,
it's a great video.
It is. So I remember seeing it, and I'm like, oh, this looks kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Because, in the back of our minds, we all want to do something hard at some point.
Of course.
So as men, of course, you know what I mean? So I see it, and I go to the site, and I look at it, and I'm like filling out the thing, and I get down to the bottom, and I realize like, yeah, it's pretty expensive, whatever. But, and we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't afford this at this time.
So you bail.
Because so I I let it go.
Yeah. And then it gnaws at you.
Yeah, dude. It really does. And then, but the thing is that it all plays out right towards the end of the story. So I start doing like video work. I moved down to Georgia, start working for somebody, and last November I go to California because we're gonna try to film the project because Bedros and the guy that I worked for are friends. Right. So
which on your class we don't realize until I think like day 1.
It was like towards the end of day 1.
Yeah.
I knew, and then when
Steve was like, "Fucking guy looks familiar." he's like, "Holy shit!" I think B knew too. He just didn't say. He didn't say shit, man. No. Probably he's looking out for you, man. That was a nice move, dude. That was a nice move.
B's nice.
Yeah.
He's a nice
but
guy.
Steve was like, "I know that fucking guy looks familiar." He's like, "You're a goddamn spy."
The thing is too is when he called me out, I couldn't think of any other word to say except for "I'm a scout."
That's what you said.
Yeah,
I was a scout.
I'm a scout.
And we were in the pit. You were crawling in the pit.
Yeah.
On your back. I remember.
Yeah. And then, Instructor Will was filming me and sent it to the guy at the time that I worked for.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. But so when we go out to California, we meet all these guys, and, we meet Byron, and we meet Bedros, obviously, and Steve and all these guys. And
everybody's super cool.
Everyone's cool. Yeah, everyone's totally opposite of the project, but but it gets to the point where you like realize like these are the kind of fucking guys I want to be around.
Right.
These are the guys I want to level up. Like I want to be around because I know I can level up if I'm around them.
Right.
And so like me and Byron talking on the beach, and the guy that I was with, the other guy that worked with me to go over there, we were talking about Battle Ready at the time. And we're like, I was like, hey, dude, I think I want to be part of Battle Ready. At that time, I was 220.
Okay, so you were overweight.
I was
the
big.
picture you showed me.
Yeah, the picture, and
which is right here.
Yeah, which is right there. Yeah, and so the thing is too is when you get to that point, you don't realize you get to that.
No, you don't until you're off of it, and then you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, or until you're around,
I've been there,
or until you're around people who want better for you.
Right. I know, man. I've been there.
Yeah, and then you see and then so I'm 220 at the time, and I tell Byron, hey, I want to be part of Battle Ready. So he puts me in the Battle Ready program, free, legit. Dude's a fucking. He's just like, you know what? You're part of the ecosystem. B knows your guy. We'll put you in it. I'm like, awesome. But one thing that Byron said yesterday was the other guy said he was going to do it, never did it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I'm losing weight. My mental clarity's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I do a photo shoot in April of this year.
Mm-hmm.
197.
Mm-hmm.
Shredded. Biggest.
I saw the photos. Yeah.
Shreddiest.
Yeah.
That's not a word, but that I've ever been in my life.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
There's a certain level of clarity when it comes to getting when you get lean. It's weird.
There really is. So, the wife's loving it.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, but there starts to become this issue, like I'm continuously trying to get better, while it seems like everyone around me is stagnating. Yeah. Or they're staying the same.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, well, after the photo shoot, the day I'm still in California at this time. I text Byron. I say, hey, I want to do the project.
Mm-hmm.
He said, all right, I got you. So we sign up. He sends me the link to it. I sign up, and I do it. I think I did pretty good. What do you think?
I would say you did all right.
Dang it. I'm the honor man, dude.
You're the honor man.
Yeah.
You're honor man.
No,
your class was retarded.
So they only had a really limited options, guys. No, but so I do the project, meet you.
But you went to you had unfinished business.
Yeah.
And you were like, fuck it, I'm doing this.
I'm doing it.
I'm going to spend the money and I'm going in.
And I told Byron, I'm like, dude, I'm scared shitless of this. Even though I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, not all of it, but I've seen parts of it.
So, like, there's a good, that I want to segue into that. So, you've seen it. Mm-hmm. You watched the whole 75-hour experience.
Not the whole 75 hours.
You didn't?
No, because we weren't there. We would go back and we would have to do work on our own.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. But
so, well, now you've seen the whole 75 hours.
Now I have. Yeah.
So, you saw a good portion of it. And then when you showed up to do it, how different was it?
Yeah, it's definitely way different.
So do you feel like you had a hand, an extra hand into it?
No. I mean, because the thing is too, is like, I didn't exactly know what was next. Because I've only seen little parts of it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah, I know the pit was there.
Yeah.
But
you didn't know the pit was there.
Yeah. I knew it was there, but I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
So, and I told Steve this too, because he asked me on graduation day. He goes, do you think you had a leg up? And I was like, no, dude. Because I thought, like, people crawling in the pit, I'm like, there's no way it's that hard. There's no way crawling in the pit is that hard. And then you get into the pit and you fucking crawl and you're like, damn, this shit's hard.
This sucks.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's just like breaking you down, dude. Yeah. So, I don't think I had an advantage at all.
I don't think you did either.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there. I watched you. I don't think you had an advantage.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like, if I had the whole spreadsheet, because you still got to go through it.
You should have to do it.
And you don't know how long it's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you like, yeah, Steve was like, oh, this is what's happening.
So obviously, now because you do the media stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm going to my my channel here, see if I can figure this out. And I go to shorts and I go to most popular.
Mm-hmm.
You see this one right here? What's that one? The top left right there.
Damn, it's 10 million views. It's the project.
That's your class.
That's my class.
That's at the beach. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's me talking to 8-Ball.
8-Ball.
And the comments on that that clip,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same way on Instagram too. The ones the project clips that get posted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't push a button, so I don't know. Sorry. The comments are ridiculous. Like, why don't you just join the military? That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
So why didn't you just join the military?
That's a great question. I mean, I don't know. Like, so would you say that the military was a purpose, like a calling for you?
I mean, at the time,
yeah,
sure.
So like, I mean, maybe it just didn't fit into someone's life.
It's not the same thing.
I don't know.
I think what it is they just see the thing, and there is a very militant, obviously because of the instructors and the way it's ran.
Mm-hmm.
There is, and you got to think, why does the military train and act like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's to get a certain result. It has nothing to do with the military. It's a tactic into breaking men down, and I think that's where, from what you saw when you were there, what you saw on social media, how different is the project in reality?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, when you're going through it, you're not thinking like, why are they yelling at me? Well, I mean, you kind of thinking that, but you're like, you want to think it's for a purpose. You want to think it's because they want you to be better at some point. And like Steve just posted this. I didn't know what this stood for. Do you know what PIT stands for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pain initiates transformation.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand that we have to be broken down.
Well, especially men, because there's a part of the project. There's a lot of parts of the project that's not filmed.
Yeah.
For good reason, obviously, right?
Right.
And if we just get a bunch of guys together and go in a classroom and start that part of the project,
no one's gonna talk.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen.
But as soon as you haven't slept in 36 hours and we've just dragged your nuts through the dirt for X amount of time.
Yep.
That's when you're so tired you don't give a shit anymore.
You don't care.
No.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it, whatever happened. I got molested. This happened.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like when everyone is telling everyone that, it's all men in the room, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're telling you guys things that we've probably have never told anybody.
Yeah.
Or we just recently maybe have told somebody.
Yeah.
Like, something that still bothers us. So, but the thing is too is I remember you saying like, "Yep, remember that," or "I've had that happen. I know someone who's had that happen,"
mm-hmm.
because we tell ourselves these stories, and like my story was like, "Oh, like I feel like I have like a form of PTSD," which to some point I probably did, but I mean it's 3 years later now, 4 years later, so why am I still telling myself the same story,
the same narrative?
Yeah. Why am I telling myself, "Hey, I can't do this because I feel a certain way about crowds"? Now.
And that's what's crazy, and that's what people don't realize is like how much of a breakthrough the project is for that. It's not a physical breakthrough.
Yeah.
It is an emotional and mental breakthrough.
Yeah.
And that's what really happens.
Yeah.
And that's why it changes lives.
Exactly. And think of it this way: if I didn't go through the project, and then I got let go, I would have been fucked. I would have been emotional. I would have been a wreck. But the thing is too is like being around all you guys, being around Bedros.
Yeah, you told me what did you really think when you got let go? Like what was your mental thought? Wait,
I said this is happening for me, not to me.
Let's fucking do it. Let's go.
Yeah, this is happening for me, not to me. And that's when you shift your perspective, dude. Things just start to fall in place. The universe is like a puzzle, and they're putting the pieces together for you. They're moving. You're throwing the
you just have to do your part.
Yeah, you're throwing the bad pieces.
I
away.
wish I could get everybody to understand that, because it sounds like such rhetoric. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, guys, please. I mean, we talk about this in the mentorship calls. I'm like, please change the narrative, switch your focus, change your mindset, get fucking lean, prioritize certain things. when that happens, when you close your circle to like the, high performing individuals, yes, life is harder because you're choosing hard over easy, but it gets easier because things line up for you, and you're just not hitting your head against brick walls anymore. And I'm like, I wish I could shake every man and just say, stop with the vices, stop with the bullshit, and do this route instead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every man should go to the project, even though that would change a lot of things. But like, if you just prioritize the pillars of the Agoge of like what we've built, you know what I mean? And you live that life like we're talking about. Yeah. You change the narrative in your head. Life gets a lot better. Yeah. It gets the way you want it to be.
Yeah. I literally felt like I could do anything I wanted.
Freedom, right?
Yeah.
Like emotional, mental freedom.
Yeah. I literally felt like when you throw a curveball at me, I'm going to hit that fucker 500 feet. Because like, it just gives you so much mental clarity. It just gives you so much to be like, okay, I have a brotherhood of guys now that I can go to at any time and say, hey, like, I'm struggling. Like, if they are, because like, like after the project, they say like that was a high point, and then you kind of get low. Your brotherhood is kind of like what keeps you.
Well, the real work begins.
So this was just okay.
We've set the bar. You've passed the test. Now you have the answers to the test, but now you have to actually go do all the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, when that happened, I'm just like, bring it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Because I felt like there was nothing that could break me right there. When I got told that I was getting let go, I was just like, okay. Just looked at him with a straight face. I said, all right. Shook hands. Walked out.
Like, it couldn't have been a better timing.
Dude.
Yeah.
And like, people are gonna say like, oh, like, well, yeah, I don't believe in coincidences, but come on, man. You're gonna tell me that I get let go from my job after I meet this guy for the first time. And your video guy quits. And
Christian's calling. Yeah, he quits. Christian's calling you. It's
no
too
way.
much.
There's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah. So like, and like you're saying, like, just because you get done with one thing, it doesn't mean the work's done. You just got to keep working, man. Because like the universe is gonna help you. Because if you really, really do want something,
if you do your part.
Yeah. Like, you can't just say, I wish this is going to happen, and then it's not going to happen. Here, universe, take the wheel. It's not going to happen. No. You have to, like, consistently put in that work all the time, and it's going to happen for you.
Well, dude, I'm fucking stoked for you. This is fun, man. We've already done. It's been a short amount of time, and I'm like, I'm digging this. This is fun.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
Yeah, I'm not very, like I was saying at the beginning, I'm not very good on podcasts, so I hope it was good for everybody.
It's great, man. Yeah. So for future podcasts, and I think, are we setting up a camera for you? Are we going to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'll feel more comfortable.
He'll be in the corner, watching us. Yeah. But guys, I appreciate that. The link's below for the project if you want to check that out. Also for Squire, and the Battle Ready, like he said, is now merged into the Agoge. Which is super rad. So we get Byron into the Agoge with us, and Bedros. Yeah. And Bedros is meeting inside the Agoge once a month. And then if anybody misbehaves, I just tell Byron, and he takes the wheel from there.
Yeah, Byron has no filter.
Yeah. Remember what I say today? He's like, you need something like level up or do work.
Do work or something. Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying, man.
I'm working as hard as I can. I haven't even slept in a week.
Yeah, I know.
It's like one long project working for Nick.
Yeah, it is. But it's cool. I like it. I enjoy it. I appreciate it, man.
Well, guys, as always, thanks you for the reviews. If you're listening to this on Spotify or podcast, go drop us that 5-star review and a comment. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, please drop us a comment and talk shit about Mario, and we'll see it in there.
Yeah, please.
Other than that, you guys know the deal. Never quit, never surrender, always forward, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.